What's up? What's up, everybody? You tuned into the Madden Underground podcast. It's your boy Brian James, and I'm here with Snipes, B Guard, and Philly guy. What's good, fellas? Okay, B Guard just disappeared. All right, all right. I'm gonna need y'all to get it together, fellas. I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. Uh, I don't know what happened either, but all right, we're back. We're back. So make sure we got sound, Snipes. I don't hear you. All right, hold on. Let me figure that out. We gotta figure out why. Oh God, we gotta figure that out. We'll be right back.
This broadcast is brought to you by go.factor75.com. I'm 1/4 of the Madden Underground crew. It's your boy Snipes, by the way. And I've been looking for a while for a website where I can actually save time when it comes down to me being able to properly prep my meals. And go.factor75 does just that. It gives me time and it alleviates stress as far as having to prep my meals. Also, on top of that, because of the fact that I started working out, I'm on my pelly quite a bit. It's helping me reach my goals now, because what's happening now, it's helping me avoid having to read labels all day. These guys are giving me great wellness in regards to my food prep and everything else. And on top of that too, because of my lifestyle, which I don't eat pork or anything like that, a lot of times I like to do like the keto type deals, the calorie smart type deals. And lately I've been searching and to get into the vegan and vegetables and everything else. These guys do just that. Again, these guys are fantastic. I love them. I've been using them for probably about 3 weeks now. And I'm happy to say I've lost about 20 pounds after I've done it. So I'm telling you guys right now, go check these guys out. Go.factor75.com. Make sure you use our link, or go to go.factor75.com and use the code FACTORSE4196 to get $130 off across 6 boxes. It's your boy Snipes. Make sure you check them out.
All right, we're back. We're trying to see what's going on with Snipes and the rest of the fellas. What's good, fellas?
I hope y'all can hear us now.
Mic check, mic check.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Good, fellas.
Yeah, I'm good. I hear myself.
Yeah, I think we good.
Yep. 1 2. Yep, we're good.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. Okay, good. Everybody can be heard now. Good.
Yes.
All right, so we're good. Got that figured out. All right, so moving right along. It's a big day, big weekend in football this week. We had a lot going on. We had we have college football return, NFL return. We had the MCS. It was a whole lot of things. Henry's the winner. Congratulations to Henry. Big victory for him. I think he's the first 3-time champion, right?
Not first. I think he joined Skimbo, if I'm not mistaken.
Is he? I thought he was the first.
I think
he's the first. I think Skimbo only has 2.
Yeah, Skimbo has 2.
Oh, wait.
Skimbo has 2, and then I
think Skimbo has 2.
I'm gonna double check that, but you might be right. But I'm gonna double check that. I thought that he joined Skimbo. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think
you're not wrong. You can't be wrong. Your Giants, they beat the Titans this weekend.
I wasn't even gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
It's gonna get mentioned at some point.
Philly trying to get ejected before we even get going. Skimbo does have 3, I guess. So
yeah, Snipes. What I tell you, Snipes.
What was the third? Because I remember he beat Problem.
Doesn't matter.
He has 2 classic belts and 1
championship. He beat Lil Man. Yeah, he beat Lil Man.
2 classics and 1 championship. Okay.
So that's
so he got 3.
He has 3. So.
Yeah, he's got 3. Okay.
So he tied up for 3.
All right, so tied for 3.
There you go.
So okay, so we got Henry has
but Henry's got 3 in a row.
3 in a row. That's
Henry's got 3 in a row.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody did that, but
that's new. So okay, 3 in a row.
Yeah. But congrats to Henry though, man.
Yeah, definitely.
He balled out, man. He balled out. That boy nice.
It's no denying that.
That boy nice. He's gonna go down. He's gonna go down as one of the best to ever do it.
If he's not that already.
Yeah. I agree.
And he's 19. Like
19. No, he just turned 20. He just turned 20.
Like, still, that's still like amazingly young. Like everybody else who has the amount of his, like they're all older than him. I think Dreeny's still pretty young. I know Skimbo's like creeping up in his 30s.
Yeah.
So geezers, a lot of geezers out there.
Yeah, a lot of old men.
That's really what he's saying.
Yeah, it's not an old man game.
And today's podcast is brought to you by Factor 75. By the way, make sure we'll be doing a few Factor 75 giveaways. It is a $60 box, $60 box in value. It gives you a code. You can order some food. It gives you, I think that's about a few meals for the week. Definitely some delicious food. We'll be opening a few of those meals today. Let you see what they're about. So, we'll talk about a little bit of football, and then we'll get into a few of these meals and things like that. But definitely shout out to Factor 75. Definitely doing great things with the food. The food is absolutely delicious, and I enjoyed my food on Football Sunday. I actually ate two meals. The grilled chicken was A1, so vegetables seasoned properly, and it only takes 2 minutes to make. So shout out to Factor 75. Anyways, but back to this Madden stuff, man. We opened up our leagues. The Xbox League is kicked off already. We're in week 1 in Xbox. We'll be getting to week 1, advancing to week 1 in PS5. I think we only have one person waiting to accept an invite, and he's downloading the game right now. So
what?
Yeah,
he's in game. He's in town now, right?
No, that guy. He accepted it. He already accepted his invite.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Patriots. So he's accepting his invite once he finished downloading the game.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we're getting it going today. Madden Underground franchise leagues are on the way. We're underway, I should say. We've already got 31 guys of 32 guys in PS5. We're just trying to make sure we get that 32nd guy in. But we're gonna be advancing through the league today and getting it done so we can get to week 1 and we can get those games starting to be played as they are already being played in Xbox, I should say. So let's get it.
Man,
big football weekend. We can start with the Titans and Giants. Giants beat the Titans. I was extremely disappointed by that. I wasn't surprised though. It didn't surprise me because of the roster that we have. I've been saying it's been boo-boo for weeks. People thought I was just lying or just talking out my butt. But no, the Titans roster is absolutely terrible. To anybody that disagrees with me, you're an absolute sucker. I'm in all my Titan groups and everybody's been banning and blocking me for weeks because I've been saying they're trash. And then this week somebody said, "Hey, buddy, we're going to let you back in. I think you were right." So, it is.
Gotta love the overreaction Monday.
Yeah. So it is what it is. So I've been let back in all my Titan groups and things like that. But shout out to the Giants. Snipes, you got a victory. I know. Man. I know you was running with those Bills. You abandoned those Giants for a while. You said, "I'm going to forsake thee and go ahead and get on this Bills bandwagon."
Hey, look, let me tell you something. Well, first off, as I've stated a million times before, I started following the Bills because I love Thurman Thomas. That was my guy. Okay. So I followed them for a long time. I even felt bad when the Giants beat them in the Super Bowl. I felt bad about it. But, it is what it is. But nonetheless, Giants, we already know what it was with David Gettleman and all that. We knew what it was with them. Y'all knew how I felt about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just done. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't deal with with the Gettleman era anymore. And like I said, I've said it here on the podcast before. He probably got a contact from somebody out in Jersey or something and said and they let him know, look, you either gonna leave or you're going to be forcibly removed one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? They tired of it. You know what I'm saying? They're tired of the BS. And I said for a long time, look, I can't deal with these cats anymore until they get rid of this guy. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. It's kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like you know what I mean? You know how, for example, and kind of slipping into basketball a little bit here. You know the situation going on with Starver out here with the Suns.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know what's going on. You know what's going on with him. So out here right now, they're going crazy out here. Like there's a lot of fans out here that's like, look, I'm not even repping the Suns anymore until they get rid of this guy. Simple as that.
Definitely.
You know, they're ready to get rid of him. They want him gone. These cats want him gone. You know what I'm saying? But it was the same thing with me with Gettleman. I can't rock with these cats until they get rid of him. Thank goodness, after I said that, like a couple months later, boom, he's gone. He decides to leave. You know what I'm saying? So it made me feel good, man. It made me feel good. I ain't gonna front. But just getting back to the game, though, Titans should have won the game. I'm a Giants fan. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Titans should have won the game. They should have won that game.
Yeah.
I mean, our defense is abysmal. Okay, just like that, we let them get right back downfield. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the coach did. The coach said, "Look, we're going for 2," because he know the defense sucks. He know the defense is bad. You know what I mean? So that's why he went for 2. He's like, "Look, we may as well. I don't want to go to overtime with these guys. We gonna lose in overtime."
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? We won the game simply because your kicker missed the kick. That's it. Other than that, you should have won the game. There's really no going around it. You should have won the game. The Titans should have won that game. You know what I'm saying? But I am happy the Giants won it. And now the Bills have to play the Titans this Monday night coming up here in week 2. So we go back to back, B. James, back to back with these squads, man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I only have one squad. I don't have 2 squads to bounce between and things like that. But, you know,
it's all good.
Unfortunately, hopefully we'll be able to take down one of your teams. You know what I mean? Maybe this week we'll beat your other team. But you know, it's been a great week. B-Guard, what about those Eagles, man? The Eagles had a great weekend.
Yeah, you know, the offense looked super promising, and I enjoyed what I saw. I thought Jalen Hurts played an okay game. I didn't think he lit the world on fire passing wise. AJ Brown showed out though. Thanks for that, by the way. Thanks for him. You know, you can take bargain bin AJ Brown, aka Treylon Burks. We'll take the real AJ Brown. And the thing that really stunned me was how bad the defense was. Like the defense was terrible. Like 35 points to the Lions. Like, look, I don't think the Lions are a bad team. I don't think they're this offensive juggernaut. So that was very concerning. But you know, we'll take the victory.
Late too, right?
Yeah, they gave up the lead late. Yeah. And but you know what? We'll take it. We got the Vikings this week. That's gonna be a great game for it's the second game for Monday Night Football. So we'll see what happens there.
That's gonna be a good test. That's gonna be a good test for the Eagles.
Vikings are good.
Yeah, that's a good team, man. That's a well-built machine right there for sure.
The Vikings look amazing.
Yeah, maybe Zimmer was the dude holding them back, and I've just been really unfair to Kirk Cousins this whole time. But we'll see.
You might be right. What's up with those Jets, Philly guy? You were enthusiastic of speaking on somebody else's team. What's up with those Jets? What are the enthusiasm?
This shit. They didn't show up to play. They were unprepared. You know, you spend all this time. You would think every team in the league is prepared to play the very first game of the season. And they were not. I told you they was going to lose to the Ravens. But I didn't imagine that they were not going to show up to play. And I don't mean the players. I'm talking about the coaching staff. Their game plan was terrible. Their play calling was terrible. They looked straight garbage.
Okay. And I see Black Man 35 in the chat. Yeah. What about those Raiders, buddy? Hey, everybody getting it this week. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about those Raiders.
You sound real defensive, Brian James.
You know what, man? You know what? I'm disappointed in my team. And I know it was a field goal. We could have won. We could have possibly won the game or whatever.
Yes, that was y'all game for the taking, man. It really was.
But unfortunately, I wasn't pleased. That's not good enough for me. Almost isn't good enough for me, you know. So with that being said, I want to make sure we talk about every team that won and every team that lost this week. So The Raiders Chargers, that was a big time matchup. Big
Yeah.
time matchup, huge matchup that everybody was anticipating to see.
Justin Herbert, man.
Yeah, Justin Herbert looked amazing.
He's so good.
That guy's amazing, man. That
Lost by 5 to a super squad. Okay, well, are they a super squad?
You know, that was a close game. That was a close game. It's not like Derek Carr didn't look very good, but
he was throwing to his best friend all night. He was throwing to his best friend all night long.
Yeah. Hey man, it's just like Aaron, like what Aaron Rodgers did when he was in Green Bay. Just feed Devontae.
But you know what? Here was my problem with that. How do you not target Hunter Renfrow for a full half of football? How do you not target him? He had 0 targets in the first half. A guy that had 104, 105 catches for you last year.
Yep.
And you didn't target him for a half.
The neglect is real.
What are you doing?
They got some things to figure out.
Yeah, they do.
They got some things to figure out. But that's not like the worst loss in the world. Like they were
right.
Carr didn't play very well, and they were still right there in the game. Like they didn't play well, but they hung around with them. The defense looked all right. I mean, Herbert's very good. Herbert's that guy, and that defense when Mack and Bosa are rushing you like that, like you almost have no chance. So
yeah, he was a beast. He was a beast. He was a beast in that game. And you just mentioned Khalil Mack, man. Like, wow, we got a new Titan for him. He's back. He is back.
Shows what you can do when you have a little help on your side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you're not the only good pass rusher on your team.
Exactly.
What about those Dolphins? I see they're talking about Tua to Tyreek. What about those Dolphins?
Oof. I think I'll go. Like, I think it's more of a story about how bad the Patriots looked. That's the worst I've seen them look in a week 1 in, I want to say, decades.
Yeah.
Like, that offense was atrocious. Like, I remember being on the podcast saying that Matt Patricia and Joe Judge were the dudes calling the offense and how that's going to be a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to fruition.
Yeah.
Now,
you're right.
Now, on the opposite end, did anybody feel that Tua was that great? Like, no. Tua did enough. That's literally what you can say. He did enough not to lose the game. He had some throws where I'm like, oh, this is not going to work.
The one throw that he had on 4th down, though, to
Lamar going to Miami next year? Lamar to Miami next year?
That was a great throw. But did you see the one where he threw a ground ball?
Yes.
To Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill looked like he had everything. Like, if he gets him in stride, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out on Tua. I'm all the way out. Like, I just don't think he's that guy. I think he's
just like you stated earlier, though. It's like it's overreaction Wednesday here for us.
Yeah,
you know,
the problem,
like with Tua, it's week 1. Let's give him the better.
The problem is, I still don't know if you're good, and usually if I don't know, you know. Like, we're still asking questions about is he actually good? And I think I'm out on him.
I'll say this, man. I'll just say that, you know, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for right now, only because it's week 1. Now, Philly could probably attest to it a little bit more because this is his division, as what, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt. It's only week 1. Let's give the man a shot. Here in Madden Underground, we believe in second chances. Let's give him a second chance.
We don't. Yeah, I was going to say, I was like,
definitely don't believe in second chances.
I mean, look.
Where is that coming from? I don't know where
you don't believe in second chances?
No, you wasn't done over here, buddy. You know what I
mean? Exactly. And Brian James just said one of the scariest things that I've heard him say. He was like, Lamar to Miami. And I had to, while you talking, Snipes, like I'm visualizing.
That's scary, ain't it?
And I was just like, I was like, Lord God in heaven, please no. Please no. Like the simple fact that the Ravens have not signed this man to a long-term contract. It's just utterly ridiculous to me. And the scary thing is to know that Miami could actually have him. Like, At least the Jets tried to get Tyreek.
I mean, Philadelphia is also watching. Hey, Philadelphia is watching that closely because if Jalen Hurts, if this is make or break for him this year,
the crazy thing too is I could see Lamar either of those teams, either Miami or Philly. I could see it happening.
Philly has the draft capital to make it happen.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know, and that's a scary thing, man. I don't want to see Lamar Jackson twice. I don't.
So back
to the Eagles.
So back to the Patriots side, like, what are they doing over there? Like, the defense looked good. The defense looked pretty good. They weren't great, but they weren't bad. But that offense, man, is gonna they look like a bottom 5 team in the league just because of that offense.
Well, I mean, you already spoke to it, and I think that's what Belichick is going to be addressing, this week. Is you can't have a conflict of interest when you're coaching the offense. It's got to be one voice. It's got to be one play call, and he's gonna have to rein that in. I mean, you saw the product on the field. That is unacceptable. That's not the Patriot way. So I fully expect for Belichick to rein that in. And you know what? You had to see it to believe it. There's the proof. Time to move on.
Like, we heard all through preseason, like, how bad they looked on offense, how uncoordinated, how unbuttoned they were. And week 1, I know it's in Miami, and that's a tough place to play because it's Miami. But there's nothing about that offense that led me to believe that that's going to get better.
They're playing,
and plus now Mac Jones is now dealing with back issues. So it's not. I'm gonna call it right now. This Patriots dynasty, it's over. I think they missed the playoffs by a lot. I think they're a bottom 5 team in the league. That's my hot take.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. They'll probably miss the playoffs simply because of that AFC West. I mean, we talked about how stacked they are. We saw what the Steelers were doing. We saw what the Bengals were doing. We saw what the Ravens were doing. So, it doesn't go without saying that there's a really good chance that they were going to miss the playoffs anyway. I don't think they're better than any of those teams. So you got two whole divisions that they are not better than. So I don't see any reason why they should be going in the first place. But that's a safe bet.
We'll see what happens. That Bengals and Steelers game this weekend was definitely one to watch. We all watched. I think we all watched that together this weekend, which was actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
But it was a great game. I thought it said a lot about the offense because they got stalemated for an entire half, but the Steelers defense looked next level,
phenomenal.
Looked next level. Yeah, that first half. I don't know if it was because maybe a little rust or whatnot, but they definitely looked next level that first half.
Mm-hmm. And I'm actually glad that Watt's injury isn't as bad as they initially thought. Like that was a good piece of news. Yeah, like that was a good piece of news because you hate to see a player on that town, any player actually, but just see somebody on his level, get put out the first game of the season. So it's nice to know that he'll be coming back. And I mean, just him on that defense and what they were able to do even when he was gone. Pittsburgh's looking nice. So tell your homie, Snipes. You gotta tell your homie, man.
He already knows. He actually called one of y'all out there when y'all said that y'all was talking about somebody here was talking about TJ.
I said TJ Watt was overrated, and he.
Yep. Wow. He's talking about you then. So he was talking about you then because he was like, your boy said that he was overrated.
No, he's not overrated anymore. I agree with him. He's not overrated anymore. After watching him play an entire game, he was a difference maker the entire game.
So we all know how great that defense is. There's no question that Steelers defense is a top 3 defense at minimum. But that offense, boy, that was a little clunky.
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky.
They didn't turn the ball over though. They didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky did enough. And I feel like he's got to play better if he wants to keep that job. If he plays, I feel like he has to play better. Has to play better than that. You can't go a whole half scoreless after being that dominant on defensive side. That's not going to happen every single week. It just isn't. Now that Watt's going to be gone for 6 weeks. Also, I don't think enough credit's given to Minka Fitzpatrick. Like, he played outstanding. I think he was the best player on that field. Like, he got a pick 6 on Joe Burrow's first pass attempt, really set the tone. And then at the end of regulation, got the blocked extra point to get the game into overtime, where eventually the Steelers eventually won it, even though it felt like neither of those teams' kickers cared about winning.
Yeah,
how they were kicking. But the offense has to be better. That defense, I don't like. That's as good a defense that there is in the NFL. Like, the Buccaneers defense, I feel like is right there too. But the offense, Mitch Trubisky has to be better down the stretch. Otherwise, because 20 points ain't going to do it against everybody, especially in that tough division. And I think when they play again, when Pittsburgh plays Cincinnati again, Cincinnati's going to be a little bit more buttoned up and prepared. Like, Joe Burrow's not going to throw 4 picks again against them. Like, he's going to be better. We all expect him to be better than that.
Yeah, well, they will be better. I mean, you talk about how exceptional the defense is, and it's the same thing like with the Patriots situation. You know, they know what to focus on. The Steelers know they got to focus on their offense. And these are a lot of moving parts that they're just putting together, so they don't have the chemistry that the defense does. But you better believe that you know, Mike Tomlin's going to have them ready to go. You got to believe he's going to have them ready to go. So they got away, you know, with a win. They stole one. That's great. But nobody's going to be looking at that when they're looking at the standings, because all they're going to be talking about is how they won that first game. Mm-hmm. The offense can get better, and then they can consistently compete in games. And like Brian James said, they didn't turn the ball over. That's the most important thing. So, yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of that in week 2. We're gonna see who took their lumps, learned their lessons, and came to play. We're definitely going.
What I do like, though, I'm gonna go ahead on record and say what I do like. I do like the fact that, like I said, Trubisky didn't turn the ball over. He didn't throw any interceptions. He didn't fumble. He had one instance in the end zone where he almost took a safety, but you know that wasn't really his fault. It was just the blitz and the blocking wasn't prepared for it. But to say a lot about the Bengals too, to be down the way they were and still fight back, shows the greatness of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's really he threw himself out of the game and then threw himself right back into the game. So it's not many quarterbacks that can do that. So kudos to him. I think he's definitely worthy of the rating that he has on Madden and the abilities that he has on Madden. There's certain players that have abilities. I'm like, you know what? He's really not that good.
Like, I think we've always talked about it. Like, Joe Burrow just has that thing about him where he's got it. Like, he has it. And that's just something that, like, you just don't find every day. Like, yeah, he played I think he played the worst game in his career. Yeah. And still probably should have won the game if it wasn't for a blocked extra point. We're probably talking about, wow, what a comeback from Joe Burrow. Like, how like played like absolute garbage for 55 minutes of the game and then drove them down the field, almost with no time left, and got in the end zone. Like, we're having a totally different discussion if an extra point doesn't get blocked or if a field goal he doesn't shank a field goal. So, like, it's couple things go against you, and it changes everything.
Jamar Chase definitely has it. That dude's a dog.
Oh, he does. He does.
And if they had actually counted that touchdown that he actually
the first one,
they called out of that definitely
they called out of bounds.
They called out of
bounds. That would have been crazy.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys, man, and the chat can answer too with this one. All right, week 1 we've seen a lot of teams play like boo-boo. Okay. Do you think it's because they're just simply not getting some preseason run? Because look at, for example, look what happened with Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? And he's got young receivers. I mean, that first play of the game.
What a bum.
When I saw that first play of the game, I was like, okay, yeah, that's because you ain't really playing preseason like you should have. in real game action.
A lot of teams aren't playing starters in the preseason anymore. Yeah. Like, but it's just, to them, it's not worth it. Where they'd rather just figure it out during the season in the first 4 weeks. And you saw it with the Rams. Like the Rams looked totally unprepared for the Bills. And
Rams look
so
ugly.
yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. I do think that has a lot to do with it. I don't think it's everything. Like it's really unfair to make a judgment based on a team based off week 1, even though I just did it with the Patriots and I stand by that. So yeah, like give it another week or two. Like there's only a couple teams where I feel like, oh, this is big, this is trouble for them, and it's mainly because of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair, but I'm sorry. I always got to say, players play, coaches coach, and I saw a whole bunch of teams that looked like ass and they were unprepared. The Cowboys, they looked unprepared. The Jets, they looked unprepared. You can even say that the Rams offense looked unprepared, but I disagree because I do think the Bills defense is just that nice. I mean, they were nice the year before. They had something to prove.
Rams don't have a run game. Rams don't have. They don't have a run game.
They don't. But
Von Miller, man, Von Miller look like he 20 out there.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Bills.
I don't think that's going to be the case this upcoming week. I don't think Von Miller had that kind of week.
Well, it'd be a little bit tougher because y'all don't pass that much. But if you remember that Thursday night game, right? They were quick with the hooks. If you messed up on the Buffalo Bills, you fumbled, or you missed a tackle, or you blown coverage, they yanked that hook so fast. I mean, Elam wasn't even starting at corner.
That's what's crazy to me. They were starting like a late round pick.
Yeah.
Late round pick. And that first round pick like didn't come to play.
Yeah.
We don't gotta play you. First round pick, that don't mean nothing.
Nope.
It's who know the defense, who know the coverages, who can perform on the field. And those teams like that are teams that win. So think about the year that they let Russell Wilson start for the Seahawks. Teams
I remember.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, are they nuts?
Yeah,
they just paid a dude.
They just paid a dude all that money, and then they let Russell Wilson start. But if a guy's ready to go and he's performing better than the guy in front of him, you got to let that guy play, regardless of how much money you pay him.
Agreed.
I think you should be able to take that money back and give it to the other guy, but that's just not how it works. But yeah, it is what it is. But this was a great week of football. What about Russell Wilson going back to Seattle, getting the booze before the game?
I got so much stuff to say about this. Like, so if you read into like all the stuff that happened with Russell Wilson while he was in Seattle, like you'd understand why the Seattle fans booed him.
Yeah.
Do I agree with it? I'm not sure. But it doesn't seem like
what B-Guard? Like, okay,
well,
I didn't read it, so just
he was pretty like it was pretty much said he was kind of a diva, felt himself a lot. I think there was a story where people his teammates believed in the Super Bowl where he threw it the one that he audibled the play because it was originally going to be a run, and he audibled the play because he wanted the glory. He didn't want to give Marshawn the glory. That was now I'm not sure that's true, but there are teammates who believe that.
It's not true. It's not.
And I don't think it's like I said.
That ain't true.
I don't think it's true. Now I don't think it's true, but the fact that there are teammates that believe that it was says a lot about how they felt about him. And like you just hear something, like there's not a lot of his teammates don't seem to really like him.
Well,
and
you don't like him either.
I think he's a corny dude. I think everything he does is choreographed. I think he's kind of phony. I think he's a little phony. Like
you know what it is what people fail to realize. He's religious, and people when people that aren't as religious as most religious people, that's the vibe they get from a lot of religious people.
Hold on. Like there's probably a lot of other dudes who are religious in the NFL, but like with him, he has this real like Dwight Howard 2012 feel where he's just trying so hard to get you to like him, and you just don't like him because of that, because he's trying too hard.
He's trying hard to be the good guy.
Yeah, like he's like it's just something about him. It's just corniness.
That's not fair, B-Guard. Look. We just got finished talking about how this man was a late round pick.
Broncos country, let's ride.
And how he came up. Won the Super Bowl for this town.
Let's ride.
What's he doing? What's he doing outside of the football field?
I have no idea.
He's in hospitals. He's
exactly.
Yeah, but so is every other player. We could hit up Thomas Graham right now. How much has he done for this community in Chicago?
My point is, all we hear about is
actually in Cleveland now, but
well, like when he was in Chicago, like he was talking about that on the podcast with us about reaching out to communities, saying what can he do. But like everybody's doing that.
Okay, everybody's doing it, but what I'm saying is he don't have extracurricular activities. He's not in massage parlors. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
We are going there.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
What's wrong with
that? Shouldn't be the bar. The bar shouldn't be that
There's
low.
nothing wrong with going to get a massage. You know what I mean? Now, if you go in there for extracurriculars, trying to get those, and if that's what you went to, and it's consensual, then
just make sure the other person is aware.
Of what's going on. You know what I mean?
That's all I'm saying is just that Russ, he may be corny, okay, but he's won a Super Bowl.
Yes,
and he's
I think he's a corny dude. I don't think he's a bad dude.
Doing anything. And he's with he's got his wife, he's got his kids. Like what more do you want from this man?
I'm not saying that he's this bad dude. I don't put him in the same category as how much I dislike Ben Roethlisberger. I think Ben Roethlisberger is a bad dude. Okay. I think Deshaun Watson has some bad dude in him too. Russell Wilson ain't a bad guy. I just think a lot of people don't like him because he's corny. He's always been corny. Like Dwight Howard isn't a bad dude. People don't like him because he's corny. Like that's what it is. Now let's get to the game. Like, have you guys ever seen a clock managed worse in the fourth quarter than what the Broncos did?
Coaching. Yes, I have.
Like, you talk about in over your head. Like, good hell.
Yeah, it was bad.
How you let 40 seconds drip off the clock before you call a timeout. And then after the timeout, you decide, let's just send the kicker out, kick a 65-yard. What is going on?
Yeah. That's I mean, look, I'm not going to say because he's a rookie, but again, that's coaching. That has nothing to do with the players. Nothing to do with the players.
Russ didn't look that great either, to be honest. He didn't look that great either.
Again,
Geno Smith outplayed him. Geno Smith outplayed him.
Agreed.
Oh, Geno Smith definitely outplayed him.
He outplayed him, but it goes right back to what I talked about a few minutes ago. Preseason. Geno Smith had snaps in the preseason. He got a little bit of burn. What did Russ do? He didn't play. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why week one is always like an overreaction type thing. You know what I mean? Broncos lost this game. You know what I mean? Russ did not look good. He definitely did not look good. And the coach was absolutely horrible. You know what I mean? But let's see what happens in these next few weeks. You know what I mean? Like these next few weeks, even with the game with the Rams and the Bills, like B. James said, Rams were not prepared at all. They were not prepared for the Bills. They were not prepared. The Bills were prepared to go in there and shut these guys down on their ring night. That's probably what was motivating them. You know what I'm saying? But I think that at the end of the day, it's all about this preseason, man. Like I personally think, and I understand that people get injured. You could get injured in week one as well. My whole thing is this, real simple. You got 3 games to play for preseason. I think these starters should play half of one. That's it. But you need to play. You need to get some type of burn. Real life football action. Game 2, you need to play a half of that game.
Yeah,
that's my feeling on it.
And you see the Buccaneers they let Brady play in that last game. You know the team.
Brady also missed like the first 2 weeks because of off the field stuff.
But they definitely made sure he got that last burn. You know?
And how did he look?
He looked all right.
He looked all right.
Yeah, I mean he wasn't the best, but he still looked better than these other cats.
No, he did. He looked better than Dak for sure.
He looked better than Dak.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, I think Russell Wilson, the Broncos could have won that game, just like the Titans could have won that game.
They probably should have won that game. Like
there were 2 fumbles. Dimes alluding to.
Dimes mentioned it. 2 fumbles. And then see somebody well, if they made the kick. The point is, you're not why would you drip down the clock when you got all 3 of your timeouts and then settle for a 65-yard field goal? That's you're asking a lot of your kicker to make a 65-yarder. Not everybody is Justin Tucker.
True indeed.
Agreed.
True indeed.
Definitely agree.
True indeed. Okay, well, moving along. We got some great college football games last weekend. We got some even better games coming up this weekend. I know a lot of you guys are college football guys. What games are you guys looking forward to this week?
I'm looking forward to Miami versus Texas A&M. That one I think is the best game of the week.
Yeah.
It kind of got muddied up because Texas A&M decided they didn't want to show up against Appalachian State. So
well, let's talk about Appalachian State for a little bit. That quarterback is good. That quarterback.
I think the year they beat Michigan, like they also had a quarterback that was actually pretty good
like
too.
This is 2 weeks in a row. He put up 40 points in the fourth quarter last week and lost. This week he got it going in the first half and they won. So
that's usually how it happens. That's usually what happens to these like big schools, like when they
Fresno
bring in
State,
these
USC?
like Division II guys. They bring in these Division II guys. It happens early.
Yeah,
like they get punched in the mouth and then they don't know how to respond because they're used to being up 28-0 on these small guys.
Yeah,
like that's what it is.
So
and then like it's by the time they get get back into it, it's too late.
Yeah, it's about to go down, man. That's why I said, like, I see J Hall alluding to the Fresno State USC game. That's a big game on the West Coast.
Yeah, so, that's gonna be a good one.
I guess I'd have to be there. I don't understand why.
No, man. Look. I was even going to say that I'm not even a USC fan like that, but what they've been doing these last 2 weeks, you got to pay attention. You got to take notice. And I feel the same way about my Ohio State Buckeyes. I usually don't watch nobody else, but what USC is doing, I mean, they've turned that program around. That's what it looks like. So they're definitely worth.
Well, can they play a real opponent before we start rounding them? Rice is not a real opponent. Stanford ain't what they used to be. Like, I don't know much about Fresno State. I'd have to take you guys' word for it. But I think their first test is going to be against Utah.
Okay. Well, yeah, you would say that. But
that's what I'm saying.
Utah's a good team. Utah is a good team.
Okay. Let's take a second to talk about Miami. Let's talk about the Gators. Let's talk about the Florida teams. Which of those teams showed the most promise? Florida State even looked okay. Which of those teams showed the most promise?
I would have to say the Gators. Like the Gators beat Utah, and they made a big play in the end zone to seal a win against a really tough opponent in Utah. I mean, they struggled against Kentucky, but Kentucky's very good this year too.
Yeah.
So I think they're very impressive. Miami, I don't know. Miami did struggle like out the gate in their first game. So I'm not so sure about them. We're gonna really find out about them in this upcoming game against Texas A&M. Florida State beat LSU in a pseudo home game for LSU. They say it's a neutral site, but if you're in the Superdome, that's a home game for LSU.
Yeah. Don't
care what anybody says. They beat them. It's always great to see Brian Kelly lose. I always love that. I would say Florida for now, but I think Miami, if they win this next game, I think it'd be Miami. I haven't watched a lot of Miami.
Okay.
You actually mentioned a game that I would have definitely mentioned too. That to me, that's really the only game I'm really interested in this week coming up, man. Because if they beat Texas A&M, you got to put Miami up.
They're interesting. They're interesting.
They're gonna be very interesting if they beat Texas A&M. But it's gonna be a tough. That's gonna be a tough ass.
Can anybody beat Georgia this year? Can anybody beat Georgia? Is anybody good enough to beat Georgia?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
They look like a juggernaut, bro.
Because Alabama even struggled, man.
Yeah. Alabama should have lost.
They should have lost. They should have lost. I don't know what that call was in the end zone.
They got bailed out on that safety.
Yeah,
they got so bailed out.
Yeah.
So. I don't know how you guys keep. I mean, first of all, Bigo, you talking about Utah like they're a measuring stick? They're not a measuring stick. They're 1-1. They're 1-1.
Utah was the 7th ranked team in the country coming into the season. Pac-12 champion. They've been the best team in the Pac-12 for the last year. That's a measuring stick for USC. USC was an embarrassment last year. USC was terrible. They finally decided, hey, we're going to be serious about building our football squad for the first time in a decade.
No,
it's about time you get somebody worth a damn to coach that team.
I'm not talking about using Utah as a measuring stick for USC. I'm talking about measuring against the Florida teams or anybody in the SEC
Florida
didn't
okay,
look
but
like
Florida was unranked before they played Utah. They beat Utah. They moved into the top 12. That's what the country thinks of Utah.
Okay, well, look, here's what I will say. Okay, and it has nothing to do with Utah. It has to do with the fact that we have college football playoffs now, and it's too early. It's only been 2 games in the season, so we're gonna see who's doing what. Because you can't look. I'm not being an Ohio State fanboy, but I'm just saying Harrison's son looked good. That boy looked good. But are you gonna say he's not nice like that until he goes up against a better team? Maybe.
No, they beat Notre Dame. We know Ohio State's good.
But again, that was week 1. But what I'm saying is that by the time we get to the college playoffs, that's we're gonna see who steps it up. Because we had the same conversation about Georgia and Alabama last year. And I remember telling y'all, I was like, yo, Alabama is gonna beat Georgia, and then Georgia's gonna beat them, and they're gonna end up winning the big thing. And I was just like, look, that's just what it is. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's basically where we at right now. College football is too unpredictable until you get to the playoffs, in my opinion, because they got all these rankings that came from what people are supposed to do, not what they've actually done.
Yeah, everybody in chat disagrees with you guys. He said Florida lost the next week.
Yeah, to a really good Kentucky team. Like, the SEC is tough. We all know this.
Okay.
Like, the SEC has, 7 teams in the top 25?
College football rankings always been buns, according to Smart.
Yeah, the first week.
Yeah.
Like, Notre Dame.
You can't sell them on Kentucky.
Thank you.
Kentucky was good last year.
Oh my God.
All right, so you really putting your eggs in Kentucky's basket right now?
No, because they got to beat that. No, they got to beat Alabama. I don't see that happening.
Okay.
Like, Kentucky's still a really good team. Like, they could win. They could be a 10-win team in the SEC.
Okay. Well,
I don't see it.
Like, they were a 10-win team last year, were they not?
Okay. Well, let's talk about some of the NFL games this week. Let's pull up. Are you able to? Anybody got access to the schedule right now?
Yeah,
I can get it right here.
Let's go down the list and let's see what we got this week. Let's unbox some of those things. I'm actually eager to see the Bills Titans game. See if we can bounce back. If not, if we lose this game, this Titans season is washed. I'm just gonna go on the record and say that now.
All right. So we got Thursday night game, the big one.
A world of education
Oh my gosh.
on its head. Because success
What is
doesn't
going
come
on?
from those dusty old tech.
See, that's what happens when you
Did you
don't
put on the
freaking
freaking
Who's that, Big R? What you over there watching, bro?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Talking about Kentucky.
ESPN got an ad.
Nah,
ESPN
that wasn't no
got an
ads,
ad.
brother. That wasn't no ESPN.
I could share my screen.
That
If I
was not
I could
ESPN.
share my screen if I could.
Nah.
It's ESPN schedule. I promise y'all.
Yeah.
So we got Los Angeles. We got the Chargers at the Chiefs.
Chargers at the Chiefs.
Yeah, tickets as low as $113. So if you want to go there, you're gonna have to pay $113.
Chargers and Chiefs, man. That's a tough pick.
Off a short week.
Oh man.
I like the
Yes,
Chiefs. I like the Chiefs.
Okay.
So what do we?
I'm
So
I'm
are
gonna
we
go
going? Are we gonna talk?
gonna go Chargers. I'm gonna go Chargers in that one.
I'm going Chiefs.
I'm going Kansas City. Kansas City impressed the hell out of me this last week.
I'm going. I guess I'm the only one with Chargers. Okay.
And they didn't even play Kentucky. How about that?
I cannot wait till Purdue comes. I cannot wait till Purdue comes into Ohio State and just upsets you and your season. That's who you do all the time. Is Purdue. You have the game against Purdue every single time. Them or Northwestern.
Yeah. I mean, look. The Chargers Chiefs game is nice, but I gotta circle that Dolphins Ravens game as well. I gotta circle that game too. I'm definitely looking forward to that game.
The Ravens Dolphins.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the Ravens take that one.
Well, we're gonna see because if you think about it, Brian James already put it out there. He said that Lamar may possibly end up in Miami.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's a possibility. All right, but next game. What are the games we got?
We got next interesting one.
Oh, before we do that,
Tampa and New Orleans.
Hold on,
Tampa and New Orleans.
Before we get into that, the PS5 guys, we are advancing. I'm advancing right now. you guys can start signing free agents and cutting your roster down and doing a game prep. We'll be advancing every 15 minutes. Those of you that are on PS5, every 15 minutes there will be an advance through preseason until we get to week 1. So make sure you do so now. Well, once we advance. So I have advanced.
Well, like I said, Tampa and New Orleans. At New Orleans.
Why? Why do you like that game?
Because Brady's never beaten New Orleans in the regular season. While being a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can't tell you about the Patriots time. I'm sure he's beaten them when he was at the Patriots.
So
and the Saints didn't look that bad. Saints looked pretty good. They had to come back. They had to come back against the Falcons, but everybody comes back against the Falcons. It's kind of a time-honored tradition. You just if you want to beat the Falcons, let them get up double digits on you in the fourth quarter. That's exactly where you want them, right there. They will never hold the lead. It's been true for the last 40 years.
Interesting take.
I don't know, but that's not fair. That's not fair. And again, they don't have Kentucky to play every year.
Check your phone.
Not on their schedule. But I'm just saying, like, out of the 10 o'clock slot, that's the game that you want to see the most?
Yeah, I want to see Brady. I want to see how Brady does against that defense. I want to see how Jameis looks. Also, you got the Monday night game.
We're gonna take
Minnesota at Philadelphia.
We're gonna take a quick Factor 75 break, and we'll be right back.
I'm gonna look up.
This broadcast is brought to you by go.factor75.com. I'm 1/4 of the Madden Underground crew. It's your boy Snipes, by the way. And I've been looking for a while for a website where I can actually save time when it comes down to me being able to properly prep my meals. And go.factor75 does just that. It gives me time and it alleviates stress as far as having to prep my meals. Also, on top of that, because of the fact that I started working out, I'm on my pelly quite a bit. It's helping me reach my goals now, because what's happening now, it's helping me avoid having to read labels all day. These guys are giving me great wellness in regards to my food prep and everything else. And on top of that too, because of my lifestyle, which I don't eat pork or anything like that, a lot of times I like to do like the keto type deals, the calorie smart type deals. And lately I've been searching and to get into the vegan and vegetables and everything else. These guys do just that. Again, these guys are fantastic. I love them. I've been using them for probably about 3 weeks now. And I'm happy to say I've lost about 20 pounds after I've done it. So I'm telling you guys right now, go check these guys out. Go.factor75.com. Make sure you use our link, or go to go.factor75.com and use the code FACTORSE4196 to get $130 off across 6 boxes. It's your boy Snipes. Make sure you check them out.
We're back. What up,
We're
fellas?
back.
So we lost Snipes in the process. He didn't make it to the other side. But again, if you guys are in PS5 free agency, you can sign free agents at will. You can do your trades now. You can cut your roster down to 53. We'll be advancing
PS5 don't trade.
15
PS5
minutes.
They don't do trades.
We got some different players in PS5 this year.
I mean, yeah, they are different. I will say that. They are different
guys this year, man. So
It'll be your first time. You never know.
You can sign more than one. You don't have to just sign one player. You can sign more than one.
Yeah, so back to what we were saying. We got Vikings at Eagles.
Okay.
That's going to be an interesting game. I think that's a real measuring stick for Philadelphia to see how good they really are.
Well, actually, I think for both teams, to be honest. Because when you look at how unprepared the Packers were, how do you really gauge Minnesota? I don't know that you can really gauge Minnesota.
I think we all can agree that the weapons that Minnesota has are elite. They are good at every skill position on offense. They got a really good tight end. They got I think a top 5 running back in the league. They got might be the best receiver in the game.
Okay.
If not top 3, if he's top 3, definitely top 3 in my opinion. And you got Thielen, who's no slouch. Like everything you could want for an offense, you have with Minnesota. I think Minnesota could win that division. I don't know if they will, but I give them a real chance to do so.
Well, I mean, I think that's definitely fair considering that, they're under new management. I mean, they have the advantage of surprise. And then also, like you mentioned before, they played together. So they know each other. There's a lot of familiarity there. I think with the Vikings and the Eagles, you have, two franchises that have an opportunity to make a name for themselves. The coaching staffs are new. So I think it's going to be an exciting game. I definitely am glad it's on Monday night. But my biggest thing is I want to see that Titans-Bills game. I don't understand why they stack the Monday night games like that. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me because I don't feel like it's fair to us as fans. I would love to be able to watch both games in their entirety.
That's confusing to me as well. Like, I don't understand why they have 2 Monday night football games this week, not last week, because that's usually when it happens. They usually have like Raiders, Chargers on the Monday night football game as the second game because it's on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. But back to the game at hand. Like, for me, the Eagles, it's the reason why it's a measuring stick game is because, like I said about Jalen Hurts last year, he didn't beat any team that had a winning record. And so I feel like the Vikings are going to be a team that has a winning record. And so it's going to show me, can Jalen Hurts beat good teams? Because he didn't beat good teams last year.
And wasn't last year his first full season?
Full season as a starter, yes. But I want to see, but like I said, they got all those draft picks for a reason. Because if Jalen Hurts, if he's not electric and he's average, they're going to look for another guy. They have a roster that you could win now with. And if he's not the guy, they're not going to hesitate in trying to find a situation like Lamar's where they can give up all those draft picks plus Jalen Hurts if they really have to, and send it to somebody who has a veteran quarterback that wants to win. I promise you, they are looking at what Jalen Hurts can be. If he's not going to be the answer going forward, they will find the answer next year.
And I think a lot of what you're saying is true for a lot of teams. I mean, definitely the Eagles, definitely the Jets, definitely the Dolphins, and just the simple fact that Lamar is a possibility, and you have a tremendous draft class coming in. I mean, there's a lot of teams, and I'm glad to see that they're doing this. They are not investing all of their time and energy when, in Zach Wilson's case, he can't even stay on the field. And then when you take a look at what Tua is doing, hey, we surrounded you with talent. This is your time to shine. Same thing with Jaden. So, if Jalen, Tua, and Zach, if they can't get it done this year, then I think it should be a very short hook. Well, and I think we should all go for Lamar because all three of those teams they can compete.
Well, realistically, I think there's only like maybe 5 or 6 teams that would be like, no thanks about Lamar. I think if you made Lamar available to every NFL team, maybe 6 of them say no.
Well, I mean, I think based on their style, I think you're right. There's going to be some teams that he doesn't fit in. But when you talk about the talent that Philadelphia has brought in, you talk about the talent the Jets have brought in, you talk about the talent that the Dolphins have brought in. I mean, those 3 teams, they already have playmakers. And then you add him, and he actually has weapons. And we actually get to see, what he looks like with talent. And I just can't imagine that. Like I said, I hope.
Yeah, because like
I'm not gonna say the Ravens have never had talent.
Okay, so name me a receiver that you feel was top 10, maybe.
I mean,
I'll do you one better. Top 20.
Well,
I think the best receiver.
That's a tall order.
The best receiver they had was Marquise Brown.
Nah, Marquise Brown wasn't even the best receiver on the roster when they had him. It was actually Duvernay. Duvernay was the best receiver. He's been their best.
Duvernay had like 400 career yards coming into his 3rd year.
Okay.
Like last game he just had.
Who had
was
the most?
first time I've ever seen him play.
Sneed had a productive year.
Sneed. Okay, Willie Sneed.
He was actually productive.
How'd he do? How did he do after the Ravens? Where did he play after the Ravens? Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm not a Sneed fan, but you know, I don't think that, you know, I don't know. I don't think that.
I think Bateman Hollywood was the best. I think Bateman could be really good.
I think Bateman and Duvernay can be really good. They have big games this week. They have big games
against the Jets. The unprepared Jets.
Yes.
The Jets defense isn't the problem, though.
Then what was the problem?
The problem
everything
was
seemed to be the problem with the Jets.
Because if I remember correctly, the Jets secondary is the one that gave up those D bombs.
True indeed.
Now you didn't see that because you was in the hell game with the Giants.
Yeah, but Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco should have been covering that secondary, man.
Well, he wasn't doing anything on offense.
But again, you might as well be doing something productive.
I'm still putting it on the coaching. So, like I said, if Lamar can go to any of those three teams, I think those three teams have the talent that's around them. And I agree with you, Brian James. We're going to see what that Bills team looks like going up against the Titans. I do like the Bills in this matchup because I think they're tired of y'all kicking their ass and running the ball down their throat. So I feel like the Bills are going to be locked in. I think they want to show everybody that they can stop the run. And it's going to be fun to watch. So I'm glad it's on Monday night because, they're going to be in the spotlight 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I agree with that.
2 weeks in a row.
I agree with that. But we got it. Like I said, let's talk about the 49ers and Trey Lance a little bit. I think we kind of neglected that point.
Man, that field looked bad. That field was bad.
The
field?
Know. Yeah, we're gonna blame it on the field.
Yeah, look at Soldier Field.
We're gonna blame the arm.
The
on the field.
NFLPA has complained about the Soldier Field and the conditioning. Go look at that field, like what they were playing on. Now, it doesn't excuse everything with Trey Lance. It's a reason. Trey Lance didn't look great.
No,
but a reason for that could be the condition of the field. It was soaking wet.
That's interesting that you would even.
I thought he was gonna say, "Oh, it was the no Kittles."
That's what I was.
That's what I was thinking he was gonna say. He said the field,
and it's Kittle, Brian.
That's part of it too. Now Kittle go look at that field. Like I promise you, chat, help me out. That field looked like a disaster waiting to happen. Like it was. Nobody the condition of that field was unplayable.
That is football. That is a football.
That's not football. There's
a
reason why they build domes.
They went out there playing on concrete. There's a reason why
they put domes in there. There's a reason.
You acting like they're out there playing on concrete,
bro. They're building a new stadium because of that.
Yes, because they don't want the weather to have an impact.
They don't want it to be the whole reason. Like Soldier Field is a dump, and it looked like that on the TV. Trey Lance didn't look good because he didn't have Kittle. Yes, the field also was a problem. The Bears weren't doing much on offense either. Why aren't we talking Justin Fields? Because he won. That's why. No. In all fairness, the Niners had the lead for the majority of the game. Okay, and they were not able to generate enough offense to close it out. Now the Bears, they were opportunistic. And Fields made some plays with his legs, like he's capable of, and that's what ends up happening. It's a game of inches, but let's not act like the Niners got blown out. They were winning that game majority of the time, and when people were like, "Oh, Trey Lance is playing like garbage," that was when they were behind, and he was trying to force it to make things happen. He made a lot of good plays. He ran the ball well, and we can't even evaluate him fairly, knowing that he's probably been practicing and most of his reads are with Kittle on the field. We've seen this already with Kaepernick when Vernon Davis was out, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, Crabtree, he's a beast. He's eating." Yeah, because everybody was trying to shut down Vernon Davis. And so you had to throw the ball to Crabtree. It's the same thing with Trey. You cannot evaluate him fairly until Kittle is on the field. And without Kittle being on the field, I don't think it's fair to put it on him. I will say the Niners defense was ass, though. I will say that. I will say that they didn't dominate the way they were bad down the stretch.
So let's talk about that because the Bears, they did what they had to do. They stuck around You know, they were playing at home.
They competed. I give them that.
competed,
They competed.
And they were able to steal one. But you know, it's not Trey Lance's fault. I would put it on the Niners defense before I put it on him.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, like I think it's an overreaction to be clamoring for Jimmy G. Jimmy G wasn't doing nothing in that game either. I promise y'all that. Like, you take away Kittle, you take Jimmy G away from Kittle. Oh, Jimmy G ain't looking better.
I mean, didn't Debo fumble? I mean, nobody.
Debo wasn't great either.
Talk about that. He wasn't playing the best either. So
hey, man, that's what happens when it's wet. Everything is wet.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
like I said, field conditions were terrible.
We have advanced the week in PS5. Just a heads up, if anybody's watching the PS5, make sure you go in there and sign your free agents. Cut your roster down to 53 if you have to, and do what's necessary to get your team ready because we will be advancing to week 1, and the schedule will be posted following the podcast, so you guys can set your games up. But go ahead.
So what's the next game? What's the next game that we gotta talk about?
Was it
Can we skip the rest of the AFC South? I really don't want to talk about the rest of the AFC South.
We kind of got to talk. We kind of got to talk about the Colts Texans.
Do we?
We kind of have to, but
I feel like we do. Why?
It was actually one of the better games last week.
Nobody deserved to win that game.
Nobody deserved.
And none of them
if we're gonna talk about the Steelers and the Bengals, we have to talk about that game because those two games are gonna be the first two games to end up in possibly a tie. You know.
God.
So, but keep in mind there are no winners. There are no winners in the AFC South right now.
The only division with no winners, and they played each other.
There are no winners.
That is not true. That is not true. A tie is half of a win. You know that.
It's not a win though. It's not a full win.
It's not a W.
It's half of a win.
Not a win.
It's half a win.
See, that's what I would expect a guy that picks the Jets in franchise mode to say every week. When you playing struggling Philly, the people in the chat want to know.
Oh, he's been ducking for the last 24 hours. I told him I had the podcast.
He's ducking?
I told him I had errands. I'm like, yo, we got to play after the podcast. He hit me up during the podcast. Talking about, let's go. I asked him yesterday. I was like, yo, when we logging in? I even put it in Discord. When we locking in?
Oh, you trying to get the force win. I see. I respect it, Philly. I respect it.
Trying to get the force win. By any means necessary.
How was he taking the initiative trying to get a force win, B-Guard?
Oh, man. Word on the street struggling looking for you. He said he's looking for you like you owe him money. That's what I'm hearing.
This is what I'm talking about. These are the lies. You know what? I got the receipts. If I got to forward the screenshots, we can do that. I don't want to hear that crap. That's BS, man.
Okay.
That's BS.
The question is, are you going to beat him?
I expect to.
Oh, gosh. That didn't sound real confident.
Now, so no, huh?
No.
Well, I mean, you know, I had to dial it back a little bit. I was going to come a little bit stronger. You know, I had like Kentucky on my lips. I was going to make another Kentucky.
Yeah, you know what I would say? Yeah, Brian, ask me that question.
Are you going to beat? If you play struggling, you going to beat him?
I'm going to embarrass him.
Okay. See,
that's what you say.
Right, just like you and Brian James were supposed to play today, but that didn't happen.
I see you still trying to elude the real reality, the games that count. The games that count. Me and him can play. We can play all day long.
We can play anytime, and it means nothing.
It means nothing. But when you actually got a game that matters right now, that's people looking for you, and you're trying to avoid
people are looking for me.
Yeah,
I'm avoiding them.
That's what I'm hearing.
I'm the one that's been hitting him up. He has never asked me, "Hey, what time can you play?"
That's what I see in the chat. It's in the chat. When you try to.
So now you're mocking him. So now you're mocking him.
That's why he's in the chat. You know what? Here we go. 512. You ready, bro? You know I'm on the podcast. 557. Yo, really? Let's see about this.
I just love how we just going through your log. This is great for the YouTube audience.
Philly going through the ducking process. This is how you properly duck, ladies and gentlemen.
This is how you duck.
Philly's gonna drop an ebook on how to duck. Okay.
Wow, y'all calling me to duck.
Oh man,
I hear a lot of quacking, man.
Quack.
We got to hear struggling side.
You know what? Y'all can get struggling side, or y'all can look in Discord. So don't even come at me with that. Y'all know better. See, this is what I hate about y'all. Because both of y'all played y'all games right away. Y'all got a chance to get y'all games out the way.
You could have played yours right away. You didn't want to play.
That is not true.
So you said, let's play right now. You said.
Struggling wasn't even on, bro.
He was on. What are you talking about?
No, he was not. He was not on last night. He's
Oh,
not on
okay.
last
I got my game right
Not on
in.
last
See,
season.
B
It's
guard
great.
jump
Most
in.
of you.
This is great for the
Both of y'all
podcast, man. This is great for the
Both of y'all did.
podcast.
Anyways,
Yeah, nah, he hit me up. My opponent hit me up. In all fairness, he hit me
See?
up.
so he was ready to go. His opponent was ready to go.
He was ready to go. I wasn't expecting to play, but I was like, oh well, I'm here.
Yeah. There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Philly over there ducking. Duck
10:40
Dynasty.
a.m. 10:40
Duck
a.m.
Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty over there.
10:40 a.m. Struggling, win. Nothing.
Sounds like a
Week
duck
one
to me.
schedule. Look at it. Week one schedule. Look at it. Look at it. Don't bother me.
Okay.
Don't bother me.
Okay.
Don't bother me. I'm here lying to the people.
Hey, I'm telling you what somebody told me, brother. And
Yeah.
that word on the
Word on the
is
street.
Lies.
you out here ducking.
Lies.
Word on the street is you out here ducking. All right,
Okay.
Count me down.
but yeah, like I said, I want to give everybody an opportunity. He's struggling saying he was at work. He said Philly guy got scared. This is live in the chat
Damn.
right now. He said you
Damn.
scared. He said he smelled the
I'm
fear in
so
you.
scared. I'm so scared that I reached out to him and he can't tell time.
He said you hit him up purposely while he was at work because you knew he was at work at that time.
That's what. Yeah, I see that too. Dang, Philly.
Nothing to say now, huh? You one of those guys, huh? Hit you up when I know you at work.
Hey, I had to dial it back, bro. I had to dial it back.
So the question is, are you going to win the game?
I expect to, yes.
Oh God, here we go.
You know what? Let's move on.
Struggling by 50. Let's move on. All right. Let me see. We got a lot of great games going on in the league right now. B guards, you won your game in the Xbox Pro League. I avenged my Titans in real life and won my game in the Xbox Pro League. I seen J Hall actually win his game. We got a big game of the week this weekend. We got Blaze taking over for the Chargers over Assassin. So those of you that picked Assassin in the pick'em, you guys will get a chance to revise that pick if you guys so choose. So I'll be contacting you guys.
Who's the Chargers?
Blaze is the Chargers now.
Before that.
Assassin was the Chargers before that, and Assassin was like the heavy favorite in the pick'em. So I'm gonna
God damn it.
contact you guys in regards to your pick'em, and the pick'em
The
is
hell,
still
Assassin?
the pick'em is still open for those of you guys that want to participate and try to win some money outside. You know, even if you're outside the league, you can still participate in the league pick'em. It's the game of the week pick'em where you get to pick the game. You get to pick the winner in the game of the weeks, and if you get majority of them right, or if you have the most right answers of all the people that are participating, you will get the pot. So, or if there's a tie, you guys will split the pot. However it ends. But
Guess what Lamar Jackson is, B-Guard?
and Lamar Jackson is on the Chargers now in the Xbox Pro.
Yeah,
League.
of course he is. He always gets them. It's in the contract. If Blaze joins the league, he has to have Lamar Jackson. And
There you
you know
go.
what? I respect it. I need to get a contract like that too. If every time I'm in the league, I get Josh Allen, that's what I should get.
Yeah. So
Tired of playing with these Mac Jones and these Mitch Trubisky's.
yeah, it's to the point now that you kind of expect, you just wait for it to happen. Like who is he going to talk out? Who is going to sweet talk out of their penny draws and get Lamar Jackson from him this time? And this time it was struggling. So it is what it is. In some cases, the guys just volunteered to him, like, hey, I want to trade him. Let me get you know
what? Let me address something real quick. I've been asking Struggling for weeks about Tyler Huntley. I've been asking him for weeks. And all of a sudden Blaze joins and he gets Lamar. How come he could contact him and I can't?
The same reason why he couldn't schedule our game. That's what I was trying to tell y'all.
You know what, Philly? You're right. You know what? You're right, Philly.
Thank you, B-Guard. Thank you.
All right. To the guys in PS5, you guys have 7 more minutes. He said he wanted Derwin James. So Derwin James.
I just want his backup quarterback. That's all I want. He's ghosted me over his backup. Like, what are we doing?
He was at work, B-Guard.
So he has Derwin James and Justin Herbert now.
He was at work.
Which in when you think about it, it's kind of Derwin James and Justin Herbert. Okay. That's a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. So
Yeah, it is a big deal.
and Derwin James, Justin Herbert is rated higher than Lamar Jackson in this version of the game.
About a point.
About a point. You know, and that's a big deal.
Not for abilities,
But definitely. So like I said, PS5 guys, we are 5 minutes away from advancing again to the final stage of preseason. You guys have more time. I'll give you guys 20 minutes to cut your roster down. Or I guess to the conclusion of the podcast to cut your roster down, then we'll advance to week one.
Trust me, guys. You don't want to space that.
Yeah,
I promise you. I spaced it in the other league, and I had guys who were trade targets who I was about to trade get cut, and then I lost them.
Make sure you cut your rosters down to 53. I've been telling people this for the
Marquise Goodwin got cut, and I was livid.
Yeah. So make sure you cut your rosters down. Don't be that guy that gets left out and doesn't cut his roster down. Make sure you cut your roster down. So let's take a Factor 75 break, and we'll be right back.
This broadcast is brought to you by go.factor75.com. I'm 1/4 of the Madden Underground crew. It's your boy Snipes, by the way. And I've been looking for a while for a website where I can actually save time when it comes down to me being able to properly prep my meals. And go.factor75 does just that. It gives me time and it alleviates stress as far as having to prep my meals. Also, on top of that, because of the fact that I started working out, I'm on my pelly quite a bit. It's helping me reach my goals now, because what's happening now, it's helping me avoid having to read labels all day. These guys are giving me great wellness in regards to my food prep and everything else. And on top of that too, because of my lifestyle, which I don't eat pork or anything like that, a lot of times I like to do like the keto type deals, the calorie smart type deals. And lately I've been searching into getting into the vegan and vegetables and everything else. These guys do just that. Again, these guys are fantastic. I love them. I've been using them for probably about 3 weeks now. And I'm happy to say I've lost about 20 pounds after I've done it. So I'm telling you guys right now, go check these guys out. Go.factor75.com. Make sure you use our link, or go to go.factor75.com and use the code FACTORSE4196 to get $130 off across 6 boxes. It's your boy Snipes. Make sure you check them out.
And like that, we're back. Hope you guys enjoyed the word from Snipes. On behalf of Factor 75. If you guys haven't checked it out, I'll be unboxing a meal from Factor 75. And we have a few codes to give away in the chat. So we'll be dropping a few of these codes in the chat for anybody that's interested in getting some of these meals that I'll be unboxing today from our sponsor, Factor 75. So if you guys have time, if you're in here, we'll be dropping those in the chat in a few, and you guys have the opportunity to get you a box for yourself. And right on time, they dropped the code in there. They not just the code, but the link, our buy link with Factor 75, and you use our code, you get a discount on those boxes across 6 boxes. So, but our code will give you a value of $60. A $60 code gets you whatever you want on there. That's what that value, and enjoy. So. Anyways, back to the Madden talk, back to the football talk. The MCS Thanksgiving event is now open for registration, correct? You can now register for that event. So those of you guys that's looking to get into the MCS, you watch the tournament, you want to get into the event, you can register now for that event. I recommend, if you're a MUT guy, get you some reps, jump in the Fast Money tournament. Our next Fast Money tournament will be on the 26th. We did a showcase this past week. MP was the winner. He did a great job of dominating the tournament. He beat John Madden. He whooped on Assassin in a crazy, crazy way. And I was thoroughly impressed with the way that he beat on him. So shout out to MP, our Madden Underground Fast Money Showcase champion. And he'll actually be ranked number 1. And what day is the 26th? The 26th is Monday, bro. And it'll be on PS5. This is actually a PS5, the first PS5 tournament that we'll be doing. So it'll be on the PS5 side. Those of you that play on the PS5 side, you guys can actually register at MaddenUnderground.com. Just click on the tournament tab, and it'll take you to the registration form for that tournament. It's a $20 buy-in, and you can get in and participate. You know, we'll have fun. It's been fun for the Xbox guys. We'll see how the PS5 side does.
Yeah, because we haven't seen the Fast Money tournament for the PS5.
No, we haven't. They haven't had it.
No, we haven't. This will be the first time.
First time, bro.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Yellow drink.
Haterade.
It's yellow drink,
It
bro.
looks like milk.
It's not milk, bro. I guarantee you it's not milk. It's yellow drink.
That don't look yellow.
It's definitely yellow. It's icy yellow. It's frosty.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
You know.
Whatever you say, pal.
Hey, it's frozen, bro. Like, what are you talking about? What do you want? It's frozen yellow drink.
Y'all don't do that in Utah?
You don't
Y'all
have
don't do
y'all
that?
don't have yellow purple drink out in Utah?
No, we don't drink anything that kind of color. That could be misinterpreted for something else.
What are you talking about, bro? What could this be misinterpreted for in a big jug?
Oh, Brian, I forgot. You know, being in SoCal, you guys probably don't have a lot of snow. For those of you that get snow, you know, they tell you not to eat the yellow snow. That's what he's alluding to, Brian.
No, well, we don't get yellow snow out here.
Flashbacks of eating yellow snow. That's
don't start off yellow.
There you go.
What color does it start off?
What do you think?
But anyways, yeah. So we're about to get into the unboxing of this Factor 75 box. For those of you that want to know what it's about, what it looks like, it's a great meal. I don't know what meal I got or what meal is being warmed up right now, but we're definitely gonna
You're gonna get a live, honest reaction, boys.
Yeah, that's the scary part. That's the scary part because I might like it. I might like it more than usual, and I say, you know what? I'm gonna take this off camera and go off and just enjoy my meal, and you guys talk about whatever you're talking about.
There you go. Show me the yummy.
That's a positive.
Show me the yummy.
Show you the yummy. That's what's about to happen.
Show me the yummy.
But right now we gotta advance. We gotta advance the PS5 league. One more time. And I think this is the final stage for cutting. This is cut your rosters down stage. So make sure you guys cut your rosters down.
Manually,
yeah. So.
And B-Guard, thank you for the trade. You did not allow the computer to take care of that. You took care of it yourself. I greatly appreciate it.
Oh, you guys did a trade? What trade you guys do? What kind of trade you guys
do? We did do a trade. And I'm sorry that, you know, Godwin left. If I would have known that would have happened, I would have kept my eye out. I would have signed him and then sent him back to you for free.
Godwin did not leave.
Yeah, Godwin is definitely saying he's talking about Goodwin.
Goodwin in another league.
Another
league.
He'd be crying if he lost Godwin right now.
Oh, I'd be inconsolable.
Yeah. So, you know, the leagues are back. We're back with league play time. I'm actually geeked. We got a lot of good teams, good players in the league. One surprising beatdown I saw yesterday was Trade for Life whooping on TaylorMade. I don't know what that was about. I'm just happy it happened because he's in my division. Shout out to Trade for Life. He did a great job. He ran for 283 yards in his first debut game. That's crazy. I wasn't expecting that. I knew he could run the ball, but I didn't know he was going. He took that AFC South run game that we had last year. He took it to the NFC East this year, and he's definitely dominating, leading the league in rushing right now. So shout out to Trade for Life. Shout out to, I think J Hall won his game too.
Yeah.
Shout out to J Hall. Shout out to BKP. He won his first game in a division game, Steelers versus the Bengals, and the Steelers came out on top. BKP was able to beat Beast. You know, so shout out to BKP, man. But we're about to get these things going in PS5 too. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. But we're gonna take a quick one more quick break, a Factor 75 break, and we'll be right back. And we're gonna get into that box opening. All right, go and get the box. right. All right, let's get. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, we about to go live. All right, we're back. We're back. So yeah. We're about to get back into this, talking about the Factor 75 meals. I actually have it right here. I'm gonna actually see what it's about. We got a little steak, got a little potatoes.
Can you show up to the camera, please? Can you show the meal to the camera?
Steak.
The whole box. Come on, show us what's in the box.
All right,
Yeah.
look, hold on, because I got to take the plastic off, man.
Yeah, that's because you got to eat your vegetables. See, you trying to get around that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we want to see the box. Show the people what's in the box.
All right, look. For those of you that's greedy like
What's
me,
in the box, Brian?
Shut up. We got steak.
What's in the box?
We got steak, potatoes, and veggies. We got
That's
steak,
right. Veggies. Take 2. Factor 75.
Oh, we're live, pal.
hey, steak and veggies, man. So I got my broccoli right here. You can't see that because I got it. There we go. Boom, 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 right there. About to eat that. Delicious. Very delicious. Then we're gonna see what the steak about. I'm not really a steak guy. I'd rather eat some chicken. But we're gonna see what the steak about. I'm about to taste the steak and
You gotta stop talking food in your mouth, bro. Because if you choke on live TV, I mean, we gonna trend for real.
The sponsor's not gonna like that either.
Yeah, we going viral.
this is delicious, bro. I'm about to put the steak with the potatoes. Perfectly seasoned and everything. Didn't even have to put no butter in my potatoes.
Wonder what it tastes like. Must be nice, huh? Right, Philly? It must be nice.
Oh.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Well, I actually have Factor 75 codes for you guys as well. If you guys
Do you?
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, there we go.
Talking about. Yeah, you could have led with that.
Yeah. So, anybody else interested in getting some of these Factor 75 boxes? There's a code that we're dropping in the chat. You can use in purchase if you want to buy it, a bundle for yourself. And we'll be giving away a few codes as well. Dropping them in the chat. So make sure you guys check them out, and we'll keep you live. But B-Guard is going to give you our picks for this week. Our week 2 picks.
All right.
What are our locks? The locks for this week.
Is this all in agreement? Like, we're all in agreement with what these picks are, right?
I like your picks.
Okay. So I didn't even give you the picks. My picks.
You did?
Oh, maybe it's
Philly
picks.
did.
I like Philly picks.
Philly did. Philly's actually the picks that I was going to go with.
Okay.
Actually. So
Yeah, good.
So we got the Chiefs over the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Ravens over the Dolphins. We've got the Bucks over the Saints. And then we have the Eagles over the Vikings. We're picking all favorites. Yeah, we're picking all the favorites. We're kind of cowards.
But no. That's based on what we actually saw. Like, let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Based on what we saw from week 1, those 4 teams looked like they were the most prepared.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 teams are at home. The Buccaneers, the only team we taking on the road. Those are the ones. We're going to be keeping track. We're going to keep track of what we pick and how we do. This is not gambling advice.
Nope.
Just so y'all know, this is not gambling advice. But those are our picks.
Yes. And I mean, look, I gotta be honest with you, man. I am not a Cowboys fan by any stretch of the imagination, but they look bad. They look really,
Loved every
really
minute of it.
bad. I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy watching them lose, but they look really, really bad. And I just hope Cam Newton gets an opportunity to play some football, because a lot of these teams, if you look at the number 2 quarterback, you can't tell me he's not better than the number 2 quarterback.
Oh, he's better than the number 2 quarterback in Dallas by far.
So I'm just saying, Dallas fans, make the call.
Hey, man,
So you think Cam Newton would be a great fit for the Cowboys right now?
I do.
I think their season's doomed. I think their season was doomed the minute Dak Prescott got hurt. And I'm not the biggest fan of Dak Prescott, but he's a top half quarterback in the league. Like he's at the worst, a top 15 quarterback in the league. At the worst, at best, top 10. So I think this is like inevitable. I think Mike McCarthy's getting fired. I think he's getting fired after this year.
Yes,
Sean Payton is right there for them taking. The guy they never should have let. The guy that never should have. They never should have let go.
I agree.
Yes.
I think it is only a matter of time before Mike McCarthy's fired. Sean Payton's going to be the new Cowboys head coach, and I feel like everybody sees that coming from a mile away.
Yes, because we talked about that. We talked about that last year. We talked about that. You're right. I mean, the only thing he can do to save his job is to win a Super Bowl.
That ain't happening.
There's exactly.
That's a long
shot. There's no reason for him to return. So, you know what? Maybe it's better if Dak sits out, get a chance to learn that Sean Payton offense. But still, man, they were not prepared. And like I said, that was very unexpected, and that was very unacceptable.
And I get that the Cowboys had injuries on the offensive line. Tyrone Smith's out. They did nothing to really replace the right tackle. They got a first-round pick, but I feel like that was a reach for them. Like they lost their left tackle till October. They let go of their right tackle because of cap casualty. Their guard, one of their guards is gone. Their other starting guard went to Miami. Center, I'm not so sure who that guy is, and they have Zach Martin, and that's a lonely dude. Like Zach Martin's an All-Pro, but he isn't a miracle worker.
Yeah.
No, he's not. But the Cowboys defense played very, very well, right? Until they got tired and they got worn down. And I really felt like there were some plays for the Cowboys to make out there, but some of their play calling was just so atrocious, and Dak was off with his passes. It looked.
I wouldn't use the word atrocious to describe him. I would use the word uncreative, vanilla, like nothing imaginative, which was the problem with the last guy they had before Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, well,
to me, like it's a no-brainer. Like I don't feel like he ever should have gotten that job. It's going to become clear he's not an NFL head coach anymore. Like he used to be really good in Green Bay until he wasn't. And the game, I feel, has passed him by. Like, and that happens. Like, there used to be coaches who used to be great back in the early days of their career, and then the game kind of just passes them by. And that happens. It happened to a lot of coaches. John Gruden was one of those guys. Like, Oakland got better the minute he was fired.
Well, I mean, in fairness to him, he was in the booth for a long time, and I think that you're always supposed to be a student of the game, right? So if you consider yourself to be an NFL coach, like you know whether or not you're capable of doing a good job on the field. And I know sometimes that the money is too much to say no, and I feel like they made Gruden an offer he couldn't refuse. He would have been a fool for not taking it, and he did. But this goes back to and I hate to bring it up again, Brian, but the Giants and the Titans game, everything that I saw from Daboll and the Giants, I absolutely loved. They kept fighting. He went for two. There was creativity in the play calling. It was a lot to feel like the Giants were headed in the right direction versus the Cowboys, even though they had injuries, or the Jets with all the new talent. It's like it's not a plug and play. You have to get creative. You have to be able to utilize the talent that you drafted, and I didn't see that. So
I'm saying this as somebody who actively roots for the demise of the New York Giants. It was so great to see Saquon Barkley look like he's running healthy again. Like he had a great game. Like he carried that offense, and that was great to see. Like Saquon, I feel is somebody who got put in a bad situation, didn't ask to be the number 2 overall pick, probably shouldn't have been the number 2 overall pick because you just don't take running backs that high anymore. Like there's just no real reason to. Like the best running backs you see are usually 2nd, 3rd round picks now. Like Derrick Henry, 2nd round pick. I think 3rd round pick actually. Then Dalvin Cook was a 2nd round pick. Joe Mixon was a 2nd round pick. Like it's just not smart anymore to be taking running backs in the top 5. It's a totally different game, and they get so banged up after 5-6 years. And you guys are seeing what's happening to Ezekiel Elliott. Like, he looks cooked, like absolutely cooked.
He does. I mean, he's been the workhorse for a very long time.
I actually disagree.
That he doesn't look worn down?
No, he was averaging 4 yards a carry. They stopped running the ball.
Yeah, no, they did stop running the ball.
He was averaging 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, because they got down. Like, when you're down, the run game is not gonna really save you.
I mean, even in the beginning, he was moving the chains. It was just that he didn't get in the rhythm. Like, backs are rhythm. He's a rhythm back. You know what I mean? So if he doesn't ever get in the rhythm, he's not gonna be productive.
Right, but we knew this with him coming out of Ohio State. One of his strengths was the ability to pass block and catch the ball out of the backfield. And we really saw the Cowboys kind of force him just to take on all that punishment, and then they have Pollard, who's supposed to be, the other back. That's the change of pace. I don't feel like they've been using him the way that he should have used.
The problem with Pollard is he don't block. Like, that's the problem. That's why Pollard doesn't start, is because he is bad in pass protection. Like, Zeke is a really good pass protecting blocker. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why he's so effective in the pass game, because when he's in play action, he can actually throw some blocks, where Pollard looked like he was scared of contact. And so I think that's what's keeping him. But like, Zeke's wearing down. Like, he's 27 years old. I think the age is 28 is where you start to see a real drop in production for running backs. Like, it happened to like Le'Veon Bell, Adrian Peterson. I'm not so sure. I think it started with Adrian Peterson at that point, but like with running backs, they just don't last long.
No, they don't. I mean, now, like you said, it's a different game, so you shouldn't be taking running backs in the first round like that. Although I will say that Marshall Faulk probably would have been the exception to the rule, just because he's damn near a receiver.
Well, yeah, but even at the end of his career, he was worn down.
Right. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, in terms of today's game, to your point, I'm
LaDainian Tomlinson, like those guys.
Right. And another tremendous back, that could run and catch. I just would love to see. I would love to see Zeke get a chance to play for Sean Payton, because again, when you have those type of coaches that are offensive minded and they know how to call plays and have their team execute those plays based on the talent that's on that team, then I think, you get a chance to see what we saw with Saquon Barkley in New York. You get a chance to see, hey, guess what? This guy's healthy. Hey, guess what? He's not just running between the tackles, right? He caught a double pass for a 2-point conversion to give them the lead. I don't think we would ever have expected to see that from the previous regimes of the New York Giants organization. So that's what I'm saying. It's really nice to see when you have coaches like Daboll come in, and hopefully Peyton could come in and they keep Zeke, and we get a chance to see his career, flourish, even though he only has a couple of years left, possibly.
Yeah, and also, like, what are they going to do about the cap situation? Like, they still don't have a great cap situation, and they lost a ton of pieces last year. They lost Randy Gregory. They lost Amari Cooper, La'el Collins. Like, those are huge losses that they did nothing to remedy. Like, they did not replace those guys.
Well, in all fairness, you remember they did trade for Coop. So,
right, but
it's not like they drafted him. So, I mean, they still have an opportunity.
But
to move forward. But
if you look at the numbers with Dak, with and without Amari Cooper, he's a totally different player.
Of course.
And that's like, you took away his favorite target because of cap casualties and did nothing to really replace him. You re-signed Michael Gallup, who's coming off an ACL tear. And now CeeDee Lamb is hurt, and now he's hurt. Like, it's looking real dire for the Cowboys.
Well, okay, so we had the same conversation with the Chiefs, right? And we were talking about the impact of Tyreek Hill leaving the team.
I never bought that, though, with the Chiefs, because Travis Kelce, I felt, was more of the number one target over Tyreek Hill. I feel like Tyreek Hill was a big part of him, but I felt like you could easily replace him with a couple different guys. Like, Travis Kelce's the guy. Like, if they ever lose Travis Kelce, then I'll be very concerned because he's I would say he's at least a top 8 tight end of all time.
Well, I mean, definitely when you have a tight end that can stretch the field like that, I mean, definitely that's going to help your offense, flourish and be successful. But back to the Cowboys, I still don't feel like the Cowboys are the best team in the division, and that's why they're going to have to take a step back. And they got Dak locked up. If they get Peyton locked up, they still have time to be able to draft whatever weapons or sign whatever weapons that Sean Payton is looking for his offense. So I'm willing to give them an opportunity to be able to right the ship. But like I said,
I see in the chat they're saying that Garoppolo needs to go to Dallas if they want to have a chance this season.
Even then, I don't think so because you get Garoppolo okay, but it doesn't fix the other issues they have. Like that offensive line is not going to get better because you got Jimmy Garoppolo. The receiving core is not going to get better because you have Jimmy Garoppolo. Like he's not going to solve all your issues. Now, if it were me and I was told, here, B-Guard, you're going to be the GM of the Cowboys you're going to be guaranteed 5 years. This is what I would do. I would be like, all right, Dak, Micah Parsons, Zach Martin. Those are my 3 guys who are untouchable. Everybody else, we're going to be looking to move. Like not saying that everybody's going to get moved, but we're open for business. We're going to go straight rebuild. Like the cap is bad. It doesn't seem like they're not getting any younger. Like Tyrone Smith I think he's done. Like he cannot stay healthy, and he hasn't been able to stay healthy for quite some time. And so I think I would just tear it all up and rebuild from the ground up with those 3 guys, with those guys.
Well, again, that's fair, but it still goes back to the point of allowing Sean Payton to buy the groceries, right? Because if he's going to be cooking for the next couple of years, the Eagles are already at the forefront. You see what Daboll is doing with the Giants, and the Commanders. They got to figure out. Well, but see, that's the thing. They have to figure out what to do with the Carson Wentz situation. And we talked about Lamar, being a free agent. We talked about the quarterback draft class. But what I'm saying is the talent that's on the Commanders. I mean, we all pretty much agree that all they need is a quarterback.
Well, it's never been about talent for the Commanders. It's always been about their front office. Like organizationally, they're a mess. They've been a mess for the last 20 years. Like it's never been about talent. They always get guys who are talented.
At the quarterback position.
Quarterback's a different story because quarterback, we all thought Dwayne Haskins might be something, and that didn't turn out to be a great move. And then they get all these guys who are like kind of band-aid quarterbacks, like your Ryan Fitzpatrick's, your Alex Smith's, your Taylor Heineke's. Now Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz to me, Carson Wentz didn't look great in that game. He had that game is the perfect encapsulation of the Carson Wentz experience. It's a roller coaster. You're like, oh my God, that's an amazing throw he just made. Or, oh my God, I can't believe he just threw that. There's no in between with that guy. And trust me, I watched him in Philadelphia.
I know you did, and I do have to say this. I don't think he's ever been the same since he got injured when the Eagles were hot and they ended up winning the Super Bowl.
He didn't. He was not the same.
And we thought, at least I know I did, that by him going and playing on Frank Reich's team with the Colts, that he was going to be able to resurrect his career. He wasn't able to do that. They moved on. But again, when you look at all the other teams in the NFC East, the Cowboys have the least amount of talent. They have the biggest money issues. It's going to take them longer to get to the top.
Yeah, that's just why I say full rebuild. They have to go full rebuild. Have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
Have to go full rebuild. There's that offensive line is bad and it's old. That's too bad. Those are 2 combinations you don't want. Bad and old.
No, that's fair.
The defense is great. That defense is great. But I feel like you can get another Trayvon Diggs. I really do. You can't get another Micah Parsons.
No, you definitely can't. I mean, he's a special talent. And I will say this. I will say there's one game we didn't talk about that is coming up. The Cardinals and the Raiders. Cardinals and the Raiders. I was not impressed with the Cardinals defense whatsoever. And I felt like the Raiders offense could have been better. They turned the ball over a lot.
They were anemic. Yeah, they were
really had a chance to win the game. But which of these two teams do you feel like is going to have a chance to win? And then actually, if they win, you will reconsider them as being a potential playoff team?
Raiders. I have no faith in the Cardinals. I have zero faith. The Cardinals, to me, I think they're a mess organizationally too. Like when they put the stuff out about Kyler, like why did we need to know about the watching film clause? Why did we need to know that? They put that out because they wanted to embarrass that man. They wanted to embarrass him because they didn't want to pay him early. And then they did, and so they were like, you know what? We're gonna put this out there to embarrass him. And then so now every time he loses, and every time he loses big, even though it's not on him, now all the questions, oh, did he watch film? Did he watch film? Did he watch film? Like, you don't get to be as good as Kyler Murray is and not watch film. Like, to me, I feel like the Raiders have a better chance because I feel like the Raiders are a lot more structurally stable. Like, I feel like they could have very easily won that game against the Chargers. The Cardinals, I can't say the same thing. I think the Cardinals are going to have a bad year. I think this is Cliff Kingsbury's last year. I do not rate him as a good head coach. He was never good. He was never a good head coach in college. The only reason he got that job is because he's friends with Sean McVay. That's the only reason he got that job is because he once stood next to Sean McVay.
Okay, privilege. Hey, privilege is a real thing. I think we all know that. And I'm not saying that the Cardinals were right what they did to Kyler because they definitely weren't. But Kyler made it clear that he felt he needed to go somewhere else early on, and I do feel like that was payback for the Cardinals organization based on Kyler saying that he wanted to get out. And it's interesting that you would even talk about this being Cliff's last year when Kyler's pretty much been talking about that. For the last 2 seasons, is going somewhere else and being in a different organization. And now, if the Cardinals do fire him, I mean, is anybody going to say, "Oh, well, Kyler was talking about that," or are they still going to be talking about Kyler's the one?
No, the reason why Cliff Kingsbury is going to get fired is because of Cliff Kingsbury. When you're having this public spat with your quarterback, oh, I'm going to let him call plays in the preseason just to let him know how hard it is. Bro, you get paid to do that. Kyler Murray gets paid to run the plays, not call them. To me, it's a perfect encapsulation of what the Cardinals organization is. If I'm in a bad organization and I have a chance to go elsewhere, I'm taking that chance and trying to go elsewhere. Now, he got his money, but I feel like a lot of teams would love Kyler Murray. If you told me, a Philadelphia Eagles fan, would you rather have Kyler Murray or Jalen Hurts? I'd rather have Kyler Murray. If you ask Snipes, who would you rather have, Daniel Jones or Kyler Murray? He's saying Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I'll ask Brian James. Who would you rather have, Ryan Tannehill or Kyler Murray?
Tannehill.
Really?
Yeah.
You can ask me. You can ask me, man. He's been drinking that yellow drink. You can ask me.
Yeah, that yellow drink. Philly. Who would you rather have, Zach Wilson?
Yellow drink.
Zach Wilson or Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, exactly.
Kyler Murray.
The Cardinals are not in a spot to be playing this game with Kyler Murray. They really aren't. We saw what happened with Deshaun Watson despite his stuff. He got to pretty much pick where he went because if he didn't want to play there, he wasn't going to play there.
Yeah. That's true.
So, no, I have no faith in the Cardinals. I have zero faith in them.
Okay. Well, with that being said, we're going to give you one more word from our sponsor, and then we're going to do our conclusion of the show, and we'll be right back.
This broadcast is brought to you by Go.Factor75.com. I'm 1/4 of the Madden Underground crew. It's your boy Snipes, by the way. And I've been looking for a while for a website where I can actually save time when it comes down to me being able to properly prep my meals. And Go.Factor75 does just that. It gives me time and it alleviates stress as far as having to prep my meals. Also, on top of that, because of the fact that I started working out, I'm on my Pelly quite a bit. It's helping me reach my goals now because what's happening now, it's helping me avoid having to read labels all day. These guys are giving me great wellness in regards to my food prep and everything else. And on top of that too, because of my lifestyle, which I don't eat pork or anything like that, a lot of times I like to do like the keto type deals, the calorie smart type deals. And lately I've been searching into getting into the vegan and vegetables and everything else. These guys do just that. Again, these guys are fantastic. I love them. I've been using them for probably about 3 weeks now. And I'm happy to say I've lost about 20 pounds after I've done it. So I'm telling you guys right now, go check these guys out. Go.factor75.com. Make sure you use our link or go to go.factor75.com and use the code FACTORSE4196 to get $130 off across 6 boxes. It's your boy.
And I hope you guys enjoyed the word from our good man Snipes on behalf of Factor 75. With that being said, I'm about to jump. We're about to conclude the show. This is the conclusion of our podcast. I'm about to jump on PS5 and advance it to week 1 and let those guys start scheduling their games. Everybody else, we can play right when I get off here, bro, if you down. Everybody else, we'll be back next week. We'll have a game of the week on Monday. It'll be Blaze versus Bunsby. We'll have the time for you guys too as well. But it'll be Blaze versus Bunsby, and they're gonna lock in for the game of the week. We'll have commentary for you guys and everything. So make sure you keep it locked, and we'll see you guys next week. Anything you guys want to say, B-Guard?
Nope. Really enjoyed the show. Can't wait for the next week in college football, where Kentucky, the number 9 team in the country, put some respect on their name.
They're number 9?
Yeah, they're the 9th ranked team in the country.
Oh, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, y'all just bagging on them like there's some Division 2A slouches.
Okay. Impressive.
And some NFL football, watching my Eagles take on the Vikings on Monday night. I'm gonna be very excited for that.
Okay. What about you, Philly?
Well, I'm excited about these Factor 75 codes, so I can be able to enjoy some delicious food as I watch the game of the week. And if you're listening, struggling, I'm gonna get my warm-up game in, and you ain't getting your revenge because I smacked you last year, and I know what this is all about. So stop trying to spread the narrative.
Talk, Philly guy.
Hey, it is what it is. You remember how many rushing yards I put on you? You wanted to quit Madden 22, okay? So let's just keep it real, call it what it is, and I'm gonna go get me some yellow drink.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, struggling. You have 24 hours to respond.
All right, we out. We'll see you guys next week, man.